Hello everybody, welcome to Deluxe Collectibles, and today I wanted to discuss whether or not I think the Overlord will end up returning in the Ninjago series, and of course, I did do a separate video where I discussed the potential of each Ninjago main villain returning in the series, but I specifically wanted to discuss this because I found an interesting fact over on the Daily Ninjago Facts Twitter page, so I felt that it was worth kind of revisiting this discussion and sort of flesh out my response a bit more in its own individual video. So without further ado, let's get straight into it here by going over the tweet that was made, and it says, though he can be defeated, the Overlord is a part of the balance and cannot be completely killed. In his own words, where there is light, there will always be shadow, and according to Tommy Andreasen on Twitter, he is part of the balance, he will always be there. So I find that really intriguing. Of course, we kind of already know that the Overlord is a part of the balance, of course, with Ninjago, because as they say, where there is light, there will always be darkness, and it definitely makes a lot of sense, and I think would kind of make us believe that he probably will end up returning, at least in some sort of form, in Ninjago. I would honestly be really interesting to kind of see if they went for a storyline where maybe they could completely eliminate the darkness, but then kind of see what sort of effect that would have on Ninjago. I think that could be really interesting to sort of explore, because yes, of course, there has to be a sort of balance that they have to strike with everything. Nothing can be completely good, but I think that it would be kind of intriguing if they kind of went for a storyline like that, like the ninja kind of did end up stopping everybody and ended up just completely wiping out any source of evil. I think that that would be really interesting to kind of explore. Of course, a little bit unrealistic, I suppose, if they were able to completely defeat just every villain, there was nobody who was bad anymore. I think that would, of course, be quite challenging, but maybe even if just the Overlord is the presence that is keeping this in balance, I think that maybe if they were able to completely eliminate him, I would be curious what sort of effect that would have on Ninjago. If maybe it would create some sort of like ripple in like the timeline or something. I don't know. I feel like I'm not sure how they could really make it make sense, but I feel like it would be quite interesting, because I feel like if you just defeat him again, just simply, it'll just kind of feel like a repeat of what they did at the end of course, season 3. So I think that it would be kind of intriguing if either he could return in some sort of different form. I think that would be really intriguing to see, or if they were just able to somehow completely wipe him out, how that would sort of affect the balance of Ninjago. So of course, that sort of brings up the topic as well of sort of the conclusion of Ninjago, which I don't think would be anytime soon, but I still think it's kind of interesting to discuss that. Like, of course, a lot of people would like the Overlord to kind of be like the final boss or villain that the ninja have to actually go up against, and I think that that would sort of make sense, but I want them to do it in a new sort of way. I don't want it to feel like they're just bringing back the Overlord that we already know of, and I want them to have something new to sort of spice it up a bit more, because I do like returning villains in Ninjago and really any sort of media, of course, but only if it's done correctly and if it's done in a new sort of fresh way that they're doing it from a different sort of perspective. I think that can definitely make it a bit more intriguing than if they were to just bring back, of course, the character that we saw from the end of season 3. So I think it would definitely make quite a bit more sense if they were able to do it in a new sort of form, but I just find it to be really interesting, of course, that sort of balance that they have to be able to strike and how that could sort of affect Ninjago if it was completely out of balance. Of course, we got to see it go the other sort of way with the Overlord, of course, trying to wipe out all of the light, but I would be curious if they were able to wipe out all of the darkness, how that would also affect Ninjago. I'm sure it could affect it in a bit of a negative way as well, and that would be intriguing for them to explore in the story, at least in my opinion. But let me know all of your thoughts on this down below in the comment section. I'm really curious to hear your thoughts and opinions, and thanks so much for watching the video. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like, also subscribe as well if you would like to check out some of my other content. That would be highly appreciated. But for now, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you all next time, and always remember, keep on collecting.